Hey, David! Woohoo! All right, Synaptic.
Because, oh, good, it's the screaming professors.
Darren! And Malcolm! Alrighty.
Malcolm needs to get a friend.
Indeed. Okay. Well.
We can at least bring the friend to class that way.
Indeed. Well. Yeah. Welcome everyone. Thanks for getting together for our 2-year anniversary / 2,000 subs special. It 2 years went by quickly, and who would have thought back when we started all of this fun that we'd still be at it after this much time. Anyway,
I remember seeing the bug the first time a couple of years ago. Some people had some nice things to say about it.
Indeed. All right. Well, I will introduce our esteemed panel. What with them being extremely cool and all. Chris is here. Squirrel.
Hello.
Squirrel, say howdy.
Squirrel.
Andy, please say hi.
Nope, sorry, I had my mute button on. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Andy. RJ, say hi.
Hi.
Hill, our buddy, say hello.
It's me.
It is, in fact. I noticed that when you joined. Anyway, this is not going to for everybody in the public chat. Thanks for joining us as usual. And oh, thanks, Eat. You're cool. Thank you for joining us. And fear not, this is not going to be a movie night. 4 hours from now, you're not going to be sitting here wondering when the torture is going to end.
5 hours later, and the torture is still not cleared.
Indeed.
Video because everybody is so freaking drunk.
Yes, hopefully.
With the exception of the squirrel, and the squirrel has gone bye-bye. Actually, the squirrel has gone brain dead. What has everybody else got left?
Indeed. But yes, and there will be no calls for drink. This is basically to let everyone know, why and how we all started out, and how it's expanded since then. So,
is that Kara in the chat with that?
Yes, it is.
Come on, really?
Uh-oh. Oh, the Angry Welshman. Oh, my. Angry Welshman. You should be asleep at this hour.
Well, the Angry Welshman is perfectly willing to drink his hiney off at this hour, but we're not going to be calling drink.
Indeed, unless
because we will not be having the degree of stupid that we usually do.
Hey, if I do happen to say something frightfully stupid, all of you are perfectly welcome to yell drink and correct me, as usual. It's like, what do I always say? I love being wrong, because when somebody points out how I'm wrong, I learn something. Anyway. All right.
And you get drunk doing it.
All right, well, let's very quickly, just so I don't put anybody to sleep, go over how this all started. Many moons ago, about 2 years for that matter.
Flashback noise.
That's isn't RJ our resident sound effects man?
Usually.
Well, there we go. We're in the Wayback Machine. Yeah, as for
I thought Dev was going to join us tonight.
Dev is in transit. He has the link.
Okay.
There's just every time we try to do something, there's always circumstances. It's just like on movie night. Anyway, just about 2 years ago, on G+, that's where everything started. We just a bunch of us, completely independently, were noticing that there are an awful lot of trolls infesting the NASA pages. Every time something new and cool was announced, there'd be a flat earther saying it was all untrue. There'd be just nonsense, and we would try and respond to them. And eventually, we let's see. Hey, Mason's here. All right. There we go. Welcome, Mason. Mason's muted. We'll just pretend Mason said hi. Oh, there he
I'm
is.
here.
Hi, Mason. Welcome.
I'm here.
I was just going over with everybody how Science Strike Force initially was founded and how it started. Anyway, so right, G+, NASA pages, a lot of trolling going on, and various.
Gentlemen, one moment, please.
Okay.
Break time travel sound effect, shall we?
Okay.
Quiet.
Well
Close
done.
enough.
Well done. Well done.
Well, if you're going to use that one.
Yeah. Anyway, independently, quite a few of us would respond to the people that were trolling the NASA channels, just putting in utter foolishness, and we decided maybe we could do it more effectively if we got together. And on that note, I sort of suggested the idea of, hey, let's call it Science Strike Force. And guess who the first member of Science Strike Force was? Mason! You remember those days, Mason?
Hi. Hi.
That is the first official member is Mason there. Anyway, we did, and we got together and we figured there had to be a method. It couldn't just be arguing with people and things of that sort, because that never really gets anywhere. So once we got together, we came up with an actual code of conduct, believe it or not, as to how we should respond to this stuff. And we revised it a few times. And we finally all voted and said, "Yep, that's it. That's what we should be doing." And
I have a question.
yeah, Squirrel.
Did that code of conduct include mocking and deriding any really stupid ideas coming from creations and other similar placards?
Actually, I'll say already that movie night is in flagrant violation to the code of conduct, and
Outstanding.
I'm surprised we haven't been called out for exactly that. But
Yeah, a lot of good that did us.
Anyway, so here is Chris, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, Chris is gonna read you our code of conduct, and this is how we're supposed to act whenever possible. So take it away, Chris.
Do I have to read it in a professional voice?
That sounded like a professional voice right there. If you do it in that voice, you're good.
That's pretty scary. All right, here we go. Those who choose to be members of this community commit to opposing the misinformation spewed forth by science deniers, moon hoaxers, flat earthers, and the rest of the tinfoil hat-wearing crowd. We do so to prevent those who may not have had the benefit of exposure to science from being led down a dark path, filled with conspiracy theories and unfounded assertions. In doing so, it is imperative that we hold ourselves to a higher standard by observing the following code of conduct. 1. Engage rather than argue. Approach your target in a friendly, questioning way. In the best case scenario, your target may begin to question his or her firmly held beliefs. If not, your target's responses can do more to destroy his or her wild assertions than you ever could by insult and argument. 2. Listen to what your target is saying. We want the target to seriously consider what we are saying. We must give them the same courtesy, even if they appear closed-minded and unwilling to accept what we tell them. The fact remains that at some point in the future, we will all misphrase, misconstrue, or be outright wrong about one of our points. If this should occur, and the target brings it up, it is best to admit that we were in error on that specific point and move on. Further, the target may actually be correct on a specific point, but the point in question may or may not justify their larger assertion. An example might be a climate change denier making references to the glacier growth in the Antarctic while ignoring other pertinent data from the rest of the globe. Failing to acknowledge the accuracy of a valid statement will make us appear as closed-minded as the worst of the tinfoil hat-wearing crowd. 3. Try to provide facts, references, and citations whenever possible. Citations demonstrate that we are not just expressing opinions. The word opinion is misused amongst most often as the word theory. You may encounter the old, but everyone is entitled to their own opinion line. Whether kiwis are better than strawberries is an opinion. That the Earth is an oblate spheroid is not. Number 4, avoid indecent language. Yes. Did someone say wait? Okay, moving on. Number 4, avoid indecent language, racial slurs, and bullying. It's easy to get frustrated when confronted with illogical, repetitive rantings, but keep in mind that what we say can be used against us. Some of the individuals we will encounter may be well aware that they are dead wrong, but make money from their particular conspiracy pitch through Patreon, PayPal, or some other method. These people will be highly motivated to silence us by any means at their disposal. Google, as well as other providers and forums, are very sensitive to anything that can be construed as hate speech, and often take swift action against individuals or groups that are accused of using it. Giving our targets the ability to silence us is just plain unwise. Our cause is just. Let us hope we do some small good for the world before we're done.
Excellent reading. Thank you. And now everyone that's heard how we're supposed to act may take this opportunity to criticize me for even starting movie night.
Oh, you know, I've been trying to act as a decent sergeant at arms and keep us in line, but I'm not doing a good job.
Is it that you're not doing a good
perfectly
job?
honest with you, we made even more jobs last time. It still didn't work. So
Andy,
you
is
can't
it
hold
that,
yourself accountable for the rest of it, really.
is it that you're not doing a good job, or is it that it's impossible to hold back a flood with just 2 hands?
It is entirely impossible to hold back a flood with 2 hands.
So
When
we
the
have to say
phosphorus
the
breaks,
same
the phosphorus breaks.
We have to say the
Not
same
for
thing
lack
I
of
say
trying,
before
though.
I sing at karaoke. Let me apologize before I get started.
Tries her stupid comedian way. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Alrighty. Okay. I should mention how things have grown since those early days. I hope I hope you all appreciated the code of conduct. I mean, we do try to take it very seriously. I'm not quite sure where the hell movie night came from, but we do have a hell of a lot of fun, don't
Are
we?
we just mulling over ideas with that one?
Let's see.
Yeah,
Okay.
are we just mulling over ideas with that?
Oh, that was a very long time ago. Mason, you and I were yes, you, me, Dev, and I think it was you, me, and Dev that did the very first one, wasn't it? And
Yeah, that was just crowdsourcing the idea. Then, oh hey, well, whatever, we'll do it.
yeah, and it was
make a bit of noise.
And it was just horrid at the time. I mean, we had a good time doing it, and for those of us in the hangout, we did have a good time. But what we didn't consider is we were kind of amateurs at the area of piping sound through a broadcast, through a hangout session. So most viewers just got to watch the video. They didn't actually hear anything that was being said. Thank the Flying Spaghetti Monster for Sean Hufford, who immediately contacted me and said, "Hey, Si, here's how you fix that." And that got us to where
Night mime is kind of hard.
yeah, and I wonder why people came to watch in those days. It was basically just us talking, and they got to see moving pictures in the background. But
See,
Well, you know, when I first stumbled across movie night, a year and a half or so ago, you guys had a few. I can't remember who all was in the first movie night that I watched, but I do have to admit it really did inspire something in me to get kind of, re-energize my activity in just day-to-day having fun with science. And, it's thanks to Science Strike Force that I started Backyard Science as a community, and I've been working it actively, trying to grow the knowledge and awareness of what it is that you can do at home. I'm really glad that you guys did sit down and decide that you were going to actually come up with a code of conduct and with a community that had direction and guidance, because it helped make other communities that are following in the footsteps of this one. And Backyard Science happens to be one of those, and like I say, I'm really glad that you guys started it up, because it's re-inspired something that, well, to be real honest, when my dad passed away, I kind of went into a dark place, and then other things happened. It went into a darker place, and science helped pull me out of that. And Science Strike Force is a huge, huge portion of getting me out of that dark place and back into the fun of learning and being active. Can't thank you guys enough.
That's really kind of
We
you
got
to
to
say.
keep doing this.
Indeed,
That was great. That's
And,
why we do it.
Indeed, and Andy's certainly doing his part as well, and he seems to think much like, well, all of us do, really. Is science is for everybody, and that's the great thing about the backyard science group. Encourages such things. So anyway, let's see. All right, we'll just talk a little bit about how we've how things have grown since those humble beginnings when it was a small group of us on G+. G+.
That I totally was not expecting. I really was not. I thought that this whole thing was just started over a sarcastic joke, and then we're here now.
Yeah,
we're totally here.
It is rather. Nobody's more surprised than I that the folks stayed interested. It wasn't just, let's get some laughs out of this. It does seem like there's a mission, and I'm very happy about that. But on G+, where we started, there's of course the Science Strike Force group, which is a closed group. It's a private community, and that is for sharing news, for strategies, for just science in general. And the public arm of that is the Science Denier Hall of Shame communities, which is the more public. There's more joking going on, and that is where we award the Golden Tinfoil Hat Award, which is a real trophy, by the way. It's not just in name, and so that's grown a little bit. We spread to Twitter. We have over 6,000 followers now, which is that's where we met Hill and RJ and Squirrel. We met you on Twitter too, didn't we? Oh, that's right. Squirrel's muted. Okay. Facebook, we've got well over 8.
That's right.
Oop, I'm sorry. What did you say?
For me, anyway.
Yeah, Hill.
I think that's right, at least for me, anyway.
Absolutely. That's where Hill joined the fight. Yeah, we've got well over 8,000 followers on Facebook, which is doing well. And we got the website, which has several domain names. It originally was ScienceDenierHallOfShame.com, because that was what was available at the time. Believe it or not, somebody already had ScienceStrikeForce.com. I had to wait till it expired to get it, but we have the website too. So things have grown quite a bit in 2 years since we started all of this, and it has certainly been a good 2 years. We've done a lot of stuff, and not just on the internet stuff. We've done stuff out in the real world. I'll just go over some of the stuff here. There will be videos. For some of our accomplishments that would not have been possible without the group. Let's see here. We'll pick 3 out of them. I don't know, a year and a half ago or so, we got invited to Reason Rally in Washington, D.C. as press. Science Strike Force was considered press. You let that sink in a minute. Us, we were press.
Are you
And,
sure it was press and not keep pressing?
Indeed, and we were. We had
That
press.
just shows you what low level the press really is.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, we're positioned on the press riser there was television camera, newspaper folks with their recording equipment and cameras, me with a Sony Handycam right in the middle of them. Anyway,
And why not? A Sony Handycam is perfectly valid.
Absolutely.
Most people do it with their freaking iPhones these days.
Quite true, and the cameras and the phones are getting better. And here's a very short clip from that I was fortunate to be.
We must employ critical thinking and our powers of reason to recognize the problems of global climate change.
You might
to
recognize
play
the voice.
hand we are being dealt, and to get to work. This summer, let's all work to promote reason. Let's remind our fellow citizens that each and every vote matters. Let's acknowledge and embrace the facts of global climate change. Let's go. With critical thinking and reason, we can find common ground. We can promote policies to reduce carbon emissions. We can develop and distribute what we need to provide: clean water, reliable electricity, and access to electronic information to everyone on Earth. My friends, together, we can, dare I say it,
yeah, Bill!
Change the world! Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you.
Okay, that was. If anyone's unaware, that was Bill Nye. They had a bunch of really good speakers.
How could we not be aware of such a creature?
Indeed.
On the flip side,
he was a really good engineer.
Yes, Squirrel.
Yeah, he was an aerospace engineer. Was. Now we see the difference between this. Here we have seen a demonstration of the difference between the Sony Handycam or other similar cameras and the professional cameras that real reporters use.
Mm-hmm.
The real reporters generally have tripods or people to keep the camera still. You, not so much.
Not so much. This was the first thing we got to go do. So I will apologize for the somewhat shaky video, and this was later in the day too. And
no worries about the shaky video. That's what shows a person was actually there filming it this day and age.
Indeed.
So shaky footage adds character.
This is in fact true. And the next time you
it's all fake. It's CGI.
It's CGI film. Indeed.
Sorry.
Yes, Squirrel.
The next time you decide to go do something and need a cameraman, give me a call.
Oh.
I will work out a way for me to get to wherever to do the camera work.
Oh,
I can do that.
All of these things come with all of these things come with invitations. Invitations to all. Well, all right, to a limited number. I couldn't have brought everybody to the thing, but
see, in my case, we have to figure out a way to get to wherever it is you're going. So that's a thing.
Indeed.
But I can do a good enough impression of a professional cameraman to actually have some stable footage.
Gotcha. Things are improved. I think.
And I can edit video.
Guess who's back? The triumphant return of Dev. Dev is back.
Dev.
Hey, Dev, it's been a while.
Indeed, we have missed you, Dev. Many movie nights have come and gone, and you have been sorely missed, my friend.
How about a mic check for you, Dev?
Hello, Dev. Can you hear us?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, there we go. Very nice. All right. Okay, Dev, here's what we covered so far. We told everybody how we were formed. We read the code of conduct and told them about the various assets, G+, Twitter, Facebook, and all that sort of thing. We're just getting into the stuff we've done. And it covered Reason Rally. Next, looks like Dev. Oh, Dev says his mic's not working. Heck. All right. Well, Dev's here anyway, and I'm sure everybody that's seen past movie nights remembers how cool Dev is. So,
that
was
Dev's microphone working. Because he has to come back from our movie nights.
Absolutely. And Dev is an individual we met through Facebook. That's how he came to our page and had some. We were dealing with some flat earther controversy, and before I got to respond to somebody, there was somebody I didn't know giving seriously logical arguments and throwing a serious amount of science at these folks.
And a bunch of flat earthers wound up under buses. It was all good.
Anyway, yes, and that was how we met Dev. And for those of you who've seen Dev on movie nights, you know he's a wealth of logic. So, all right, why don't we quickly some of the other stuff we did? We have been invited to and attended 3 NASA socials. I would say to anyone listening, if you're active on social media, apply. It's not something you want to miss. If there's one close to you, you do want to see it. You don't just go to an event like if you're going to go see a launch of a rocket. You don't just go see the launch of a rocket like the press has to do. For a full day before that, at least a full day, you get to go see the inside of NASA and talk to the people that are actually building these things. The big brains that actually think up all this stuff are right there, and you can have interactions. You can ask anything you like. I would strongly recommend it. I don't need to give you a website to go look at that, because just put in NASA socials in Google. It goes there. It's the top response. With one of the ones that impresses that a lot of people want to get to is when there's a launch. Those are a little bit competitive, and we did get invited to a launch, and it looks something like this. It was an orbital ATK. It was a commercial resupply mission to the space station, to the ISS. This was CRS-5, I believe, and we were about 1.25 miles from the pad.
Okay, if I may interject something here for a moment, Si, there will be another such launch for CRS-13 between the 7th and the 8th, and the next NASA social will be at Berkeley.
Really?
Believe it or not. It is, according to the website, it is Explore the Edge of Space at Berkeley.
I like it. Anybody anywhere near there, I would strongly recommend apply. Seeing a launch is great, but there's more to it. There's a lot more to it.
Here's what I will suggest to you, Mr. Si.
Yes.
Get us an invite, and drag your ass over here, and we'll go down to Cali.
Unfortunately, the way NASA works, being it is a security organization, there's no one can get an invite for anyone else. It's one sign up, one person.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I have every intention of applying. If we can both secure invites, you bring your ass here. We go down to Cali. We do the thing, and then we go home.
You know, I haven't. It's been a long time since I've been to California. Alrighty then.
I don't. And maybe if we're really lucky,
so I don't know if
Carol
anyone
decide
can
to
hear me,
redo
but I
his
cannot
thing.
hear anything.
I'm so, what, Dev, you can't
I
hear
hear
us?
you fine.
Dev's not hearing us? Okay, apparently Dev is not getting audio from us. You sound... I'm talking to him, he can't hear us. Dev sounds fine. We can hear him fine. He can't hear us, apparently. If somebody wants to message him in the inside chat there and let him know that we can hear him fine, that would be good. Anyway, don't you hate it when technology fails us? Anyway, what else we do? Oh, right. Here, we'll just let this. The other thing we did is we were lucky enough. Remember I mentioned Sean Hufford earlier, who's got, everybody knows he's got a channel, and all should be subbed to that channel because there's some science going on over there too. He arranged a get-together for a lot of us in Tennessee to document the eclipse. And it was a just fabulous event. Everybody there brought their own equipment. We had professionals. We had surveyors, all the way to people who just are nuts about science. And it was quite impressive. So here, we'll just let this play. It was this is the short attention span theater version of the eclipse. It's slightly, you may notice it's slightly accelerated. But anyway, and actually for this video there was some just really horrid music behind it, so that's another reason to let it play muted. Anyway, so Dev's back. Okay, Dev, hopefully you can hear us now. If you can unmute, maybe we'll hear you.
Fixed it. Fixed it. We did it. We did it, guys. Let's go.
All right, Dev's back. Okay.
Standing. Welcome aboard, Dev. Been
Great.
a while.
I'm a goddamn engineer. Let's do this shit.
Do this shit, Dev. Demonstrate.
All right. Now, if I may,
I am a mere technician, and I'm still gonna get this shit done.
All right. If I may, and this is sort of, it's really putting folks on the spot. Just if you don't have an answer ready or something like that, just say, leave me alone. I would like to ask, when you became aware of the group and all that sort of thing, here's the question is, what attracted you? What made you think it was a good idea to get involved with such an effort? Chris, are you prepared to answer such a question?
Yeah, I think you and I were debating with some people in some thread somewhere, and you had mentioned I should start a science group so we can organize and go against these people. I said, that sounds like a great idea. And then you did it.
And how far we've come.
I remember what we were debating or where it was. I think it was on one of those mini NASA threads, and the flat earthers were just popping up everywhere.
It was who was the first retard? I think it was Richard Byrd. Remember that guy?
Oh my!
It was Richard Byrd. Yeah. He was on that thread.
That was the guy.
It was Richard Byrd, and he was going after one of our other members there on the fucking thread.
Yeah.
And oh man, that was bad. That was a bad day.
Yeah, he was a strange, and he had a very strange. Just everything about him was a little odd. In addition to all the flat Earth stuff and things of that sort, he had a bunch of friends who would join in with him, but they all seemed to be divorced, unemployed housewives. Am I the only one that noticed that? It
does seem to fit pretty well.
That was disturbing. But,
some of them are unemployed. Some of them are married, unemployed housewives. Especially when you're talking about people like Jism.
Well, indeed. Well,
Sidestrike, real quick. If you don't mind, I've been working on this video of all of your guys' Eclipse compilations for a couple of months now. Would you mind if I screen shared and tried playing this for everyone in the audience, since it's
of course,
it's going to go up at some point in time.
Of course I wouldn't mind if you'd like to. Now, the only thing to keep in mind is if you're going to do it through a screen share, the audio is not going to come through perfect. But is that okay?
I don't see any reason why the audio is even necessary. I figured we would be chatting.
Okay, let me get it to the correct screen for that sort of thing. Very good. Present.
You're doing fine. Okay. Those are heavy. Carry one at a time.
Whenever you're ready.
How did you be presenting?
Here we go.
Ooh.
If anyone can see this, I can't see what I'm presenting. So
You're actually presenting your editor.
Yep. Is that
that's exactly what I was trying to be.
Excellent.
Outstanding. In which case, all set.
And I can make it wider. I can't. That's not going to make it any better. Anywho.
But wait, there's a thing in the center to make it do full screen, right? Look over at the side there. See what happens. Whoa, something bad happened. Undo that.
I run multiple monitors as a single monitor.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
Let me actually see. I can share my entire screen, and that'll fix that. Stop screen sharing real quick, and entire screen.
Alrighty.
Now, if I go full screen.
There you go.
All right.
Where were you when the sky went dark? When the sky went dark. Exterminate.
Speaking of dark skies, a quick diatribe here. During the eclipse, there were people still saying that this is like an act of God, even though we predicted this shit like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Can you believe anyone actually sits down and tries to say that crap?
Dude, I was like, we knew back in like 1974 the next 100 years of eclipses. Relax.
Yeah.
Well, God likes eclipses.
We had been calculating.
He was like, no, bro, that's like the Bible and stuff, bro, like it's all there, bro. And I was like, no, bro, it's not, bro.
To be perfectly honest with you, we've been doing those calculations now for like 300 years. We can actually at our little fingertips pull up a complete historical record of all of the eclipses and their paths that have happened all the way into prehistory, as well as anything up to 300 years away at this point.
But
Indeed.
You see, I have one question for you. That will just trump all that. Okay. Were you there?
Didn't need to be.
Were you there?
Nope, I have math. I can add. I didn't need to be there.
It's all
I love that.
All CGI.
Because if the defense of was I there was actually solid, I would never pay a single speeding ticket ever.
Yeah, I know, right? What's up with that? Especially the ones with especially the ones with little pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I asked the guy. I've heard tell that there's like this year 1800. Were you there?
Oh look, it's our
1800. No, I have very thorough.
Well, then we have no way of knowing that there was an 1800, would we?
Nope.
Well, here's the fun part of this. If I went looking hard enough, I could probably find some sort of record of anybody's great grandmother stopping to take a shit on any given day.
Yeah, that's all the video
now
I've got done so far. So I still need about 30 seconds of images. If anybody from Science Strike Force wants to donate some images, I got 30 seconds on the money.
Ooh,
that I still need to fill up. But thank you, Cy, for letting me share that. Just
not at all. Nice, nice compilation.
Everybody's work from Science Strike Force with the Eclipse. It was really awesome to get everybody's input on it, and sharing of images. And it's just one of those things that SSF has really helped out with a lot of people. Being able to just, hey, I want to chat about this thing, and well, we get to do that. So
just a minute. Give me a second here, Andy.
I'm going to stop screen sharing real quick.
All right. I will resume. And there we go. And let us get back to, here we go. All righty. Let's see. And Andy, if you want,
Okay.
Yeah, Squirrel, go ahead.
If I may for a moment.
Sure.
Andy, I do not have a picture of the eclipse at totality because I didn't get to see totality here. But if you would like one at about 95 to 98%, my wife was kind enough to take one.
I'm
We're
up for any sort of images of the eclipse that anybody is interested in. Nothing has to be totality. Sidestrike got a real nice totality shot. Soundly was there, got a really great Earthshine image. A lot of us didn't get to see totality, so it doesn't have to be. There's absolutely no need for that. It's just the fact that it happens.
Then I will get that. Then I will get that picture from my wife and make sure that you get a copy.
Very awesome.
Oh, look at that.
Sometime in the next couple of days, if you haven't heard from me, find me on find my ass on Hangouts and remind me, because I will forget. If I'm a squirrel, I will forget things.
Oh, I know how it is. No worries.
I'm a cracker squirrel, and I will most certainly forget things. And all that really does is change me from herbivore to carnivore and make me want to play ambush hunter.
All right.
To hide in the tree until somebody goes under that actually looks like they might not have a brain, and then jump down and swallow them whole.
And the pouncing occurs. All right. Well, let's see. Andy, I think you pretty much. Is there anything you'd like to add, or did you pretty much cover what first attracted you to our little happy group? Oop.
Who?
You, Andy. You.
Oh.
Anything other than what you've already said?
No, I think I pretty much covered it all.
Okay. And Dev, you were one of the first too. What attracted you to what we do? And like I said, if you don't have an answer ready, just tell me to go to hell away. That's fine.
Oh, me? Yeah. I'm just thoroughly against people.
Oop, actually, I didn't catch that. One more time.
I said I'm just thoroughly against stupid people.
I've noticed that over the 2 years.
It's a good stance to have, Dev.
Oh
yeah.
Limited tolerance.
I agree. It's incredibly solid.
It's like look, listen. Okay, can we all just agree that if you're claiming to get all of your political opinions and social opinions from some book that talks about how to treat your slaves and when women can be bought and sold, I should say that you don't get an opinion.
Okay. Well,
actually, that might make me look a radical or something, but I don't take them seriously at all.
Probably a wise
choice.
If
I may, those people are certainly entitled to their opinions, but once again, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, and no one wants to hear theirs.
Indeed.
Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean I want to hear it.
And
mine is the best opinion.
And
which I might also add is your opinion. I don't have a problem with him having. I don't have a problem with them having opinions. It's when they sort of turn those opinions as facts that I get pissed off.
Well, you see, if you take about 14 of their opinions, multiply that by 5, divide that by 2, and then increase that number by a factor of 1 million, that equals one of my opinions. So mine is mathematically more important.
Okay, well, Squirrel, if we're talking about the flat earthers, I think he's pretty much right on with that calculation. I think
the calculation seems to hold up for young Earth creationists too, and
Indeed.
Those guys are my personal pet peeve. Unless, of course, we're talking about flat earthers that have things to say about the space program which are patently untrue.
Agreed. That is one of my one of the things that annoys the hell out of me is when make fun of what you want, but
I shared the story. I shared the story with you on why those flat earthers in particular piss me off.
Indeed, and you know what? Before we continue, that's something we should mention. We've mentioned that there's certain types of assertions that just bug each one of us and all that. One thing we should mention is the group in general. It's not. A lot of people have suspected it's primarily just an atheist group. That's not true. We actually, in Science Strike Force, have some very devout followers of various religions. They just don't let it interfere with science. See, that's really it. Politics, we're all over the map. People have views just diametrically opposed. Doesn't matter. None of that is the reason. We can talk about that stuff, sure, but none of that is the reason we came together. We came together for love of science and to try to prevent people from derailing the train that's going to get us to the future.
And to the moon again, hopefully soon.
Indeed. That would be nice.
Because we did go to the moon, and it's not a conspiracy.
That is true.
We most decidedly have satellites up in various orbits, including some that don't look like they should be useful.
So, all right, let's see who should be. Is Mason? Are you still? I know you're muted. Are you still available and online?
I'm still here, just waiting
cool.
for dinner.
What, if you don't mind, just tell everybody what attracted you to doing this kind of thing. What made you think it was a good idea?
Oh, promoting science, and it's a little fun side project. I just wasn't expecting all this to happen.
I know. I agreed with you earlier on. I did not expect things to grow as they have, and we have met a lot of great people too. All right, so that's why you up. It wasn't the $100 I sent you to join. Then it was you decided on your own.
No.
Okay, cool, nice.
I only joined because NASA sent me a big check, like the flat earthers tell me so.
Oh yes, our shield checks.
Dude, do you know what I would do with like a NASA check every 2 weeks? Are you serious?
You only get yours every 2 weeks?
Holy.
Dude, nobody would hear from me again. I would be gone.
I think we have to keep shilling to get our checks.
Hey guys, where'd Robert go? Oh, he's on the moon again because his NASA checks.
Indeed.
Nice to know we mean so much to you.
Hey, we all have NASA checks. You all can go to the moon whenever you want to.
Sounds like an invitation. All right. Are we staying at your moon place, or do we have to just forage on our own?
You got to find your own crater. Sorry, bud.
All right. Not a problem.
No, that's when you launch a nice-sized habitat, and then you invite only the people that can be bothered to think on any given day.
Indeed. So, all right. Let's see.
What did the nice lady Kate say? Oh yeah, don't run automatic. Instead, please think.
All right. Let us see. Hill, would you mind telling folks why you thought it would be a good idea to hop in with our fun little group?
Oh, not at all. Really, because I've always loved the science stuff, and and when I first found Science Strike Force, I had only more recently got into realized there was a flat Earth debate, and I've never been very good at. I never really considered or really knew how or even had the equipment to produce videos on any kind of topic. So first of all, just movie night just seemed like a great way to just talk about stuff that was presented without having to make a whole video about it, which I didn't know how to do. And also, Sai's cool, so that was nice. There's a lot of personality on this show.
Well, we're all glad you got interested and joined us. Certainly, and
My pleasure.
And let's not forget, Hill has suffered for the cause too, twice, not once, not once, but twice. He went as I did. He went and suffered through creationist movies that were so anti-science, it almost turned my brain to stone. Twice, Hill went to see a couple of these.
Let it be known that Psystrike tricked me into both of those. He told me they were totally science films and that I would be so interested.
Yeah.
And now we have evidence that Science Strike Force members can lie like rugs.
And
see how they say? The table's on the other foot now.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Except that Hill's lying. He tricked me into going to both movies by telling me there was pie.
He tricked me.
He said there was pie.
Tricked each other at the exact same time.
He's telling you lies.
I went to the movie. I went to both movies. There was no pie. You lied to me. There was not a trace of pie.
I made no mention of pie.
I thought you and here I heard that wrong. I thought you said tie.
Oh, from movie. Oh, let us not mention last night's. Let us not mention last night's movie night.
Wait, is that pie with me or without me?
I've just barely recovered from that. All right.
Pie with me or without me?
With the E. I went for that. So, all right. Let's see. How about RJ? RJ, why on earth did you become involved with us?
I encountered you on Twitter and saw you jousting after creationists and nut effers the same way I was, and I had my camera by that time, so I thought, ooh, let me venture into the wonderful world of being on a hangout. Point where you said, oh, RJ, you need to do a show, and so the rest is history.
Indeed, and if anyone doesn't know, that history is RJ maintaining his own channel, doing at a minimum weekly broadcasts. It's still under the name that we tentatively did. We got to start on this channel, and then RJ moved, and it's still under the same name, which was
yeah. I could not have done it without you, guy. You shepherded this old fart the way, going, okay, slow down, no, push that button over there. Okay, there we go.
It worked. Squirrel, I don't know if you want your camera on, but your camera's on.
I know the camera's on. I'm mucking with it for the moment.
Oh, that's okay. Just mentioning because sometimes people accidentally put it on and stuff like that. Anyway, so
yeah, everybody that knows me knows I'm some silly white dude anyway. So they're not gonna be able to see much else than that with the little bitty picture they've got there. So screw it.
Indeed,
I don't care.
Did you say you're white? All
right,
I've missed you, Dev.
Yeah, we've all missed Dev.
I know.
The flood of logic. The flood of logic during movie nights was overwhelming.
Over and in the live chat is attempting to put the entire number of pi on the chat. Stop before it's too late.
Indeed.
Well, to be perfectly honest, at this point he's fighting a losing battle because that's never going to happen.
But he proved there was pi.
Yes,
okay.
But I like to remind everybody: pi r squared, no, pi r round.
All right.
Yes, every time. Actually, I have seen a square pie. Somebody actually put a square pie, put a pie in the tin. It was square, and it was
with everybody. Okay, well there we go.
Just remember, folks, the cake is a lie.
Alrighty.
It's a lie. Cake always.
We're actually we wanted to keep this one not a movie night. We're coming up on an hour. Why don't we? Does anybody in the public chat have any questions for any of us about anything we do? Now would be the time. Meanwhile,
hey,
such as why you fools?
Yes.
You missed somebody.
But what? Who'd I miss?
No. Who's talking to you?
I didn't miss anybody, Squirrel.
Yes, you did. That's okay.
No, it is not.
You don't
Squirrel.
have to have the answer if you don't want it.
Squirrel, what attracted you to our fun little group?
Actually, believe it or not, Si, I knew about you mostly by reputation and Pug. A number of years before I actually realized the Science Strike Force was a thing.
Aha.
And then over time, I've been wanting to kind of get a chance to hang out with you for a little while and maybe sit and have a chat. Never quite got there. And then I saw RJ crop up in association and went, you know, I should go check this out. I'm going to go have a look.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Well, no, having a chance to get it. Well, the other thing was that I knew he had. I saw I actually stopped and I watched the entire video series on Eric's previous movie.
Oh my, that the one that Paul and I
I'm
collaborated.
I am
The one that you and Paul did on the one movie.
Oh my, yes.
I actually watched. The sad part of this,
Genesis
I didn't
history.
see pieces. I actually watched the entire series of videos front to back in one go.
Wow. Are you okay?
It gave me the indication that you had at least 2/3 of the brain I took you for. So I kind of went looking.
I am honored. I am honored to hear you say that. And yeah, we had some guest appearances in those as well. RJ did some voiceover, and Andy did some voiceover.
Yep. And I started. Andy did some voiceover. RJ did some voiceover. But I actually came into that sequence kind of semi in the middle. Paul managed to put up a video. Paul managed to put up a video title that got my attention. Was a bit with Andrew Snelling, and I was gonna. Yeah, no, I need to actually check this guy out because I need to. At some point, I'm going to avenge Wildwood Claire.
Okay, see that was a close one there. You said Andrew Snelling. I almost clicked the hang up button just automatically.
You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that to me. You wouldn't do that to me.
No, not to get rid of you. I mean, I heard the name. I was going to bolt and run myself. I didn't mean I was going to boot you.
Oh, okay.
Snelling.
Okay.
All right. As long as Austin's not with him, I think we're okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, I don't see any questions. A lot of well wishes, though. Thanks a lot, everybody. We're trying to do the best we can to promote real science, and we're always open to suggestions. Not just congratulations, but if you think we're screwing something up, you know how to contact me directly. And
the woo never ends, and we must fight it.
Absolutely, I would agree. But all right, we've just hit about an hour. That's really what we wanted to keep it to, so we didn't tie up anybody on a Saturday night too much and that kind of things. Anybody on the panel, do you have anything you'd like to add? Anybody now?
I do. There's something I've been wanting to say for a while. One thing that's really striking about the Strike Force is the people that join that have vastly opposing political views get along immensely well. People that would normally block each other and call each other names, when they're in the science community, they're backing each other up, and it's just a weird science love fest.
Absolutely.
You know, I absolutely have to back you up on that one, Chris. It is really amazing to sit down and be a part of a community that obviously we all have our own political ideologies, and that's what makes us unique and awesome, and it's great. But when it comes to science, none of that, it doesn't matter anymore. This is real. This is the process. It's really awesome to be in a community like this.
It is, and it's just a big collection of
everybody brings.
Whoop, nice double, guys.
Okay. I'll wait for... No, the other thing is that we all have a wide variety of interests and experiences, and we can bring some of these things to the table directly. And we're actually pretty good at it.
Exactly. And that's I agree with that, Squirrel, and that's what do I say? And none of us knows everything, but all of us together know a hell of a lot. And Squirrel, was that did you have more?
No, that was the thing. That was the thing. You see, there are people here that don't think Trump is a very good president. Personally, I don't.
Oh, we don't need to start turning this political. Let's
indeed.
Let's just maintain the fact that all people of science-minded backgrounds are welcome and appreciated, because science is a process, and as long as you maintain the process, there will be truth.
Indeed, eventually, and that's the other good thing. Science comes to wrong conclusions at times, but it's got a built-in corrective mechanism. So it's
that's right.
Indeed, every science experiment has its failures. I'm working on one right now that is filled with failures, but 5 out of 7, that's pretty good.
Indeed.
I think people end up searching or expecting the wrong thing from the experiment, and so they call it wrong, but the end result is the truth. It doesn't work, or it does work.
You're not thinking of Jaren's recent experiment there, are you?
Okay.
Only a lot.
I don't think Jaren even understands what an experiment actually entails.
Well,
or he does, and he manipulates it for his benefit.
It's kind of looking that way.
That might be it, Andy.
Because with that guy,
that last experiment was designed to be so complex that at the end of it, he could either pick a result out of a hat and say this is what happened, or say, we don't know because of reasons. And lo and behold,
and it would
exactly
have been so easy. It would have been so easy to actually do that experiment correctly.
Indeed.
And it'd be repeatable, it'd be testable, it would follow the scientific method. Anyone could go and do it, but no, of course.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Hey, look who's here.
That's the moment.
Look who's here. Tao has joined us.
Hey, Tao.
What's up, Doug?
My favorite French Canadian.
Hey.
If I may.
Happy birthday.
That about wraps it up. Thanks, everyone.
All right,
okay.
I think Squirrel's got something.
I might have the floor for just a moment, please.
The floor is yours.
No.
Outstanding. Sue Lynch in the public chat has asked a question to which there is an actual answer. She wants to know why flat gets persisted using imperial measurement instead of metric. Well, I can tell you why. Because metric is so much easier to follow and calculate. It is literally for that reason. They do this. They do everything in feet, inches, gallons, etc., because they seem to think that if they confuse things enough, they can make really big. They can make really big numbers look any way they want.
Aha.
Right, so you're saying the idiots use the imperial measurement system because dividing by 10 is way too simple?
Yes.
No, it actually just what it really does is it hides their idiocy. It makes them sound smarter than they
I live
are.
and die by SI. I will always use SI. Period.
Also,
I hate imperial.
A lot of them are, dumb Americans who always love the imperial system. So.
Hey man, I like measuring things by cups and feet.
See, here's a fun thing. Here's a trivia question.
There are a lot of things that are fun to measure by cup.
Okay, Andy. That's enough.
I'm going to leave that there.
Okay.
That's enough.
Yeah,
Squirrel.
just leave that right there.
I'm just surprised they're not using cubits to measure everything.
Indeed.
Okay, trivia question between the panel and the chat. Let's see who gets it right first. What is the imperial measurement of length based on? What is the most basic unit?
Okay, I'm going with the foot.
The inch or the foot?
I'm going with the foot.
Plank length.
What makes me think I'm wrong?
Okay. Well,
I'm going with
that's
Hillel.
it.
What do we got?
I'm going to. here we go. As far as the panel goes, not a one of you has gotten it.
Oh,
Stride.
None of you.
he's going to tell us it's the
Stride
angstrom.
and the width
Nope.
from thumb to fingertip.
Let's see. We've got a couple. The meter. No, it's imperial measure we're talking about. Nope, not that either. Actually, it was Henry VIII that did this one. The imperial unit of measure is not of length is not based on the inch like most people would think, but the barleycorn 3 to an inch.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, look at that. All right, Hill, I have a question for you. Soundly has Soundly got something coming up, like soon? I just saw that in the
science.
Why are you asking me that?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. Okay, what does Soundly got?
I think he is.
Okay,
he's planning a thing on the for the causeway where him and I forget someone else are going down there and going to string up some lights, even heights along it, and then watch them curve along with the bridge.
Yes, that I knew about. It's just I saw something flash by in the chat that I thought something was coming up, like the word soon was used. I didn't know if we were impinging upon a Soundly video that we'd want to...
I don't think it's that soon.
Okay. Alrighty. On that note, we have crossed the hour mark. I will once again ask, does anyone have anything to add?
I wouldn't mind asking a question to our esteemed panelists.
Okay.
I seem to be having some issues in fluid dynamics with a particular experiment that I'm working on. I was wondering if anybody would like to have their say as to what might be going on with this particular experiment.
Well, we can't
build upon that.
You can't answer until you lay out the actual problem. You have to lay out the actual problem.
I can show it. If I describe it in words, it's going to be another half hour. If I show it, it's going to be 35 seconds.
Hit me.
Sure.
All right. Hold on. Let me go ahead. Present at will.
Okay.
Present arms.
Firstly, have you tried turning it off and on again?
I have, and you actually witnessed me turning it on and off in the video.
Whoa. Have you tried Control-Alt-Delete?
I can back up my claims.
I'm not seeing it. Andy, I'm not seeing it.
Every now and then.
He's not presenting yet. Andy, have you tried Control-Alt-Delete?
There we go. All right, now he's presenting. Let's have.
Wait, let me get this. Let me get this to the.
Wait.
Let me get this to the full Hangout screen. Andy, do you want to have something besides both screens running? There you go. Okay. Hold on.
No, I'm good.
You are presented.
What are those things?
Okay.
I don't know what those are.
So obviously, and this is why I say it's a fluid dynamics issue, because, well, you'll understand as soon as you see the rest of the gadgetry.
Okay.
Or you can watch Sunday Science tomorrow. Either way, I don't care.
So there's some fire, which is always good.
Fire. Okay.
Fire cleanses all.
All right. I think I see what you're talking about.
It's a menorah.
We've got so much. Well, it's not enough for a menorah, but we've got so much. We have some that are.
Well, let's crank it up. Let's go from 12 psi to 20. If I didn't remove the audio from the video, you would have heard me say that in the video.
Science. Yes.
It looks like what you've got is a. Looks like you might actually have a gas flow problem.
Funny thing, there's actually no gas involved in this entire system.
Oh, they actually showed something like that on Mythbusters a while ago. They were using that. Yeah, they were testing something with sound waves, and they had the gas intake on the other end, and it all flowed perfectly. Instead of teeing it off like that, he just had it going in from one end.
I I could definitely try that.
So,
yeah, if you put the intake valve at the end of one of those and just put them all together, it should send the same amount to every single one.
was that the problem?
Yeah, I was working with, well, sitting down and making different sized orifices for the compressed air to move through, so I was probably taking the much more difficult option.
Okay.
Hey, it's not the first time I've taken the hard road.
Do we lose Psy?
Yeah. Looks like you've overcomplicated your rig just a hair. I'm not gonna ask what you were burning in each one.
In every single burner in this particular video was burning nothing but methanol. Any color change that was evident in the flames, just that whatever random contaminants that were in the trays I made the burners out of, which happened to be Coors Light cans.
You're burning me, bro.
and
Miller Light cans.
See that's efficiency.
Sick, bro. Science, dog.
And you are
Well,
asserting,
if you gotta burn something, beer is good.
you are asserting that there are going to be this will be documented further on your Sunday Science show. Is that accurate, Andy?
Oh, absolutely. Tomorrow's show is all about the industrial blowtorch thing that I have concocted. So it's more than that, though. It's not just the fact that, of course, obviously you can ignite things and they burn, but it will delve much more deeper into why it is that when we do burn certain things, why it is that certain spectra are visible, and why it is that we view a certain visible electromagnetic spectrum.
Aha. Well, looking forward to that as usual. All right. Well,
that will be. I agree. That will be very interesting.
Indeed. And Andy, I'll tell you, I'll be there.
I sure hope so, as you are the host.
Anyway, on that note,
and here comes the copyright strike.
We've gone over an hour. So, well, if there's nothing else, stop me if there is. But I would like to thank everybody on the panel for joining and sharing your experiences with Science Strike Force. It's been a great 2 years, and we broke 2,000 subs on the YouTube channel. That's kind of cool too. And thank you everybody in the public chat for joining us.
We'll do it again in 3 years, and then again in 8. It'll
Indeed.
be 5 and 10 years.
Indeed. And that being the case, it might be time to bring on the pug, shall we?
Pug! Bring on the pug!
Yeah!
Bring on the pug!
Very
The
good.
sickest of tunes.
Here comes the pug. Good evening, all. Have a wonderful Saturday evening. Alrighty. Here,
Happy birthday.
You know what? We're no sound. We better fix that noise. Here we go. Let's try this one more time.
Please.
Shall we? There had to be one glitch. Here we go.
I thought it was going a little too well so far.
The pug is very shy these days. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We couldn't do this without all of you. And everybody in the public chat, I would like you to consider yourself members as well. Uh-oh.
What do you mean no anniversary cake?
We've run out of banter.
Cake is a lie. I told you that already.
I was promised copious amounts of money for this.
Good luck with that, because I still haven't gotten mine.
Oh, come on.
I'm pretty sure Sly will get it worked out eventually.
Probably takes away the mailman.
Fina wants new pug pictures. All right. You know, a good part of this show is the public feed, isn't it?
Well, you know, without the public feed, we wouldn't have nearly much to talk about.
Absolutely. That's where
And I
some
want
of
to thank the nice lady Sue that showed up to ask that question. It was a very good question, and it is a question that deserved the answer it got.
Indeed.
It wasn't necessarily hilarious, but it was a very good thing to ask.
Indeed.
Encourage more of that.
But let us not forget that the public chat is probably our best natural resource in the area of pun mining. If you want to get puns, that's where you go.
Yep.
I'm here too.
You know, Sai, I've got to wonder, did you ever wind up shipping me an oven mitt?
Did you ever give me your address?
I did.
You did
like
not.
3 months ago.
You did not. You're making stuff up.
3 months.
Yes, I did. It's in a Twitter conversation that is between you and I alone.
Oh, well, if it's on Twitter,
I can track that.
Did you plot the delivery course with flat Earth calculations or round Earth calculations?
I may.
For
it may have been
I use
flat.
the flat Earth calculations. That's why it's not.
All right. Good night.